welcome back to the UK series. We're not done yet. I literally have so much that I still want to go over for my trip, mainly because I just don't want to shut up about it because then maybe I'll feel like I'm still there and not here. So, today's episode is all about England. So, what we did, where we stayed, and what I unfortunately didn't get to do. So, what I wish we would have done. And really, that's just more on like timing. So we got to England on November 10th. We got there very early that Monday morning. And straight from London, we landed into Heathrow and we got a driver to take me about like an hour and a half to 2 hours to my sister's house. She doesn't live there anymore. I think it's called St. Barry Edmonds, something like that. I don't really know the name of that town. I'm really sorry, but if you know that town, go ahead and let me know what it's called. I think it's Bury St. Edmunds or St. Edmundbury. I don't know, St. Bury Edmonds, something like that. We were at her house for like 2 nights, 3 nights. It wasn't too long, so we kind of got to see like where she lived because she's been living there for like a year or two, and I never got to go visit her. So I was like, before you leave, let's go visit you. So this is just the perfect trip to do that. But basically, we were kind of jet lagged, like the whole next day, but I think the next day we ended up just going straight into Cambridge. Cambridge is only like a good 30 minutes away. It wasn't too far from where she lives. And it was really fun because we got to see one of my friends from elementary school who just so happened to be in England at that time. So basically, just like the first 2 days of being in England, we were just hanging around doing nothing. Cambridge was so fun. I just didn't realize that Cambridge College was just a bunch of different colleges. I guess maybe I should have done my own research because every college that I saw, I was like, is that Cambridge? Is that Cambridge? And we were like, oh, maybe we should read the signs because one was like Trinity College and then there are a few other ones. And it was just really fun to be able to walk around. We ate in pubs. There was like a farmer's market going on. So I ended up buying a portrait of Trinity College and I have it hung up now in our apartment. So I just loved that because I love buying things like where we are. So Cambridge was great. We got to walk around and see everything. Again, like the biggest thing that I love about traveling to other countries is just looking at their architecture. So the moment I was there, I was just recording everything and I was just taking it all in and I was just so happy. But that was a pretty long day. We found a really good boba spot that night, which is I didn't expect to find a good boba spot over there, and it was amazing. They even had like a gold leaf on it, which I don't know. I guess that just upped the price of it, but it was pretty cool, and it was really good. And shopping around there is actually fun too. But I didn't really buy anything minus that portrait that I got. And then the next day was our last day. So my sister and her family took us to where, like, around where they live. The next day was just the day that we were leaving to go to London. So she just took us around, like, the little market that she usually goes to, like, on the weekend. And we went to go have high tea. And the high tea was amazing. That's the best high tea I've ever had. Not that I've had it a lot, but it was amazing. There were five of us there, including the baby, and the tea was phenomenal. The biscuits and the finger sandwiches were so good. I can't stop thinking about the coronation chicken sandwich. That one is amazing. I'm trying to find a recipe that is like just as good as that one because I am like salivating just thinking about it. It was so good. And like the little cakes and biscuits, like those were amazing. I wanted to eat everything. The only thing that I did not eat was the cucumber sandwich because I'm not a fan, but everything else was so good. Oh my God. Yeah, I can't shut up about it. It was so good. Darjeeling tea is my favorite tea. I had it the very first time I ever went to England, and it's been my favorite tea ever since. It's the champagne of teas. It even said it on the menu. We went to go visit a monastery that had been torn down. We thought it was during the war, but I guess I think it was King Henry VII tore it down when he was trying to get all of his divorces going. So he's trying to get rid of um, the church and he just wanted like the one main church. So it was a pretty cool place to go and actually visit just because they are keeping it preserved, but you get to walk through what the monastery actually was. So, you'll have the descriptions in each location of what that part was. So this is maybe like the gardens. This is where the crypt was. This is where the servants went in and out of. And then the actual church we didn't go into, you do have to donate. It's recommended to donate, so we just didn't really want to go in. Also, I think there was a service happening at that time, so we didn't want to disturb them. But it was just really, really cool to be able to see everything. We even saw a hotel right in front of it where I think Charles Dickens stayed at, and there's even a plaque on it. We didn't go in, but it was like a fancy hotel. But it was really cool just to be able to kind of see like such a small town had so much history in it, and you just wouldn't expect it. But I feel like that's just how it is around all of England. As an American going to the UK, like I love it. Like I love history and I just like learning about different cultures and like different places. Um, we obviously have that in America, but like you kind of learn it growing up. So I like learning about other places. The next or that night we drove to England. We ended up going there a little bit late. I ended up getting sick the second day there. I was sick the remaining time of our 10-day trip to the UK, which was frustrating. But I was fine. I think my sister and her family also got sick, thanks to me. But we took a 2-hour trip to London with the dog included. The dog was not happy. The dog is actually was our dog when we were younger. My sister took her. So she's a little bit older now, unfortunately. So hopefully she makes it back to the States as well. But we made it to our Airbnb in London after 2 hours, and the Airbnb was super nice. I guess I just don't know a lot about the neighborhoods in London. So like the moment it looks a little bit sketchy, I'm like, oh, this place is gonna be terrible. Like someone's gonna break in at one point. That's just me being ignorant. So I'm so sorry. I don't mean to offend anyone and their neighborhood. I'm sure it's great. A lot of amazing people live around there, but also we did go to a little corner market that was right across. Salisbury, I think is what it's called, right? Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but they were definitely hooligans outside with a bunch of cigarettes and a bunch of empty bottles. So that kind of also threw my vibe off a little bit. But overall, the Airbnb was actually really, really nice. It was 2 bedrooms. There was a really nice, like, spacious living room with the kitchen, and it had laundry. Someone please explain to me why bathtubs or bathrooms in England, you have like that half panel for like your bathtub because water gets everywhere. I don't really understand it. Why you don't just have like a curtain or just like a full panel with like a door. That would make more sense to me. I guess you just enjoy having water splattered all over your bathroom. I don't know. I didn't like it. And then I was cold immediately after my shower. Usually over here in the States, we have our curtain. And I just like stay behind my curtain and dry myself before I get out. And over there, I didn't really have a choice. And there was water everywhere. So there's mold everywhere. And it's just like it smells humid. Just a little pro tip over there. And if it's your first time going over there, just beware if you are staying in an Airbnb. It's not bad, but there's going to get water everywhere in your bathroom. It's going to be cold and damp when you're walking on the rug. So just be careful of the splash zone when you're taking a shower. That's all I gotta say. And the next day, we literally just walked over to the underground to get to central London. And the walk wasn't really bad. Like, I miss walking everywhere, and we don't get to do that here. Like, I feel so unsafe just leaving my apartment just to go walk like across the street. And over there, I was like, this is amazing. I love walking. And I was out of breath, don't get me wrong, but I loved walking. So we literally just walked to go have breakfast. I think we walked back to our Airbnb after breakfast, and we walked all the way back to the underground. Um, and it was only like a 20-minute walk. It wasn't even that bad. Then we made it to central London. I got some medicine because I was not feeling good still. And then we were immediately right in front of the Disney store, which, if you don't know anything about me, I've been working for Disney, and my husband also works for the company, and he used to work in a Disney store. So he was like in heaven. So I just grew up going to Disney stores. So it was very nostalgic. It was like it was just so cute when you walk in because like they had like the little corner for the kids to go and sit and you can watch movies. And then you had all like the Disney costumes for like the children. We of course bought things. And it was 2 stories. So it was like they had a lot of things in there. And you do get your cast member discount there. They do it a little bit differently. They don't just scan you, they have to like write things in. Um, but you do get a cast member discount. So if you're a cast member and you're watching this, you do get a discount. FYI. And then after that, we really just kind of walked around everywhere. We went to go see Buckingham Palace. We walked through Hyde Park. We ate at a really good Italian restaurant. I don't know. I guess just living in the States, like people will write Italian over any restaurant, and it's not good. I promise you, every single meal that I had in England was the best meal I've ever had. And the water, the drinking water is my favorite part, even in Scotland. But my God, the drinking water, I miss it every single day. Like I'm literally double filtering my water here because it's terrible. Oh my God, it's just so bad. But yeah, everything over there was good. The alcohol was good. The food was good. The dessert was good. The water was amazing. And that's such a weird thing to like about in my video, like water is water, but no, water is not water. Water in America is crap. Water in the UK is the most amazing thing you'll ever drink in your life. Just take my word for it if you've never had it. But the pubs were amazing because the pubs are pubs. Like they're old, they're nostalgic. Um, like they are the same architecture and infrastructure that they've been since they were created. Obviously with minor adjustments to like indoor plumbing, but for the most part, like they all look the same, and I love it. The second day, we went to the Natural History Museum, which I've been there before, but it was my husband's first time going, and my nieces are really into dinosaurs, so we went, and she had a great time, and it was amazing. The food there was decent. I don't think I ate there, but it didn't look good. I think I like shared something with my sister and I just wasn't a fan. Like I feel like if you're gonna it's free to get in, obviously, just make your donation if you want. So like, you're not eating at a 5-star restaurant, but I don't know. It wasn't that good to me. So take a snack or just go early enough to where you just want to leave and go have lunch somewhere. But the whole experience was really fun. There was a Marie Curie room that you could go into, but you had to pay for a membership for it. And we didn't know that. So my niece is disappointed because she's been reading up on her. So she wanted to go see her, unfortunately. But I think there were parts of the museum that we actually didn't get to see. So that's a little sad. But overall, one, it was really, really crowded that day. I don't know. And we were there in the middle of the week. So I don't know if it was just like a bunch of field trips of kids going. I don't know. But there were a lot of people. It was a little bit annoying for me because I kept shoving and pushing people and running into people. And it wasn't for me. Then we went shopping. We went to Harrods. We went to Selfridges, which it was my first time at Selfridges. And they had a whole Disney pop up. I didn't buy anything there because one, you don't get a discount, and two, my wallet isn't meant for that lifestyle yet. So I was just here to look. I did my little ornament, my little Christmas ornament, because I had to. I love Christmas ornaments, so I bought one at Selfridges, and I bought a little British guard. Um, yeah, so that's what I bought. That's the only thing I bought there. But Selfridges was nice. I like it. It wasn't as crowded as malls here, I guess. It's still pretty crowded, but it's a high-end luxury mall, and it was Christmas, so that didn't help either. And Harrods was really nice. Harrods we actually got lost in. We went to go. We had something in mind to go buy there. We bought a Gucci wallet. Um, it took us like 10-15 minutes to find the Gucci department because they have the women's department downstairs, but then they have the men's department upstairs. So I found my wallet downstairs, and then it was my husband's turn. And so my niece's like, I'm gonna go with you. And then she got tired because we were walking for so long. We went up an elevator and then we went down so many hallways. We were following all the signs. We went through the kids section. Oh my God, it was a long time. And then my sister found me. She's like, it took us 1 minute to get here. I was like, okay, whatever. And then I think that same day we ended up going to Borough Market. I spoke about Borough Market in my last video. Oh my God, Borough Market really is worth the hype. Like, you have to go to Borough Market. Like, don't think that, oh my God, TikTok blew it up. Like, it's probably not that great. No, 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 no. You have to go to Borough Market. And like, we've already gone and we're already thinking and Like we can't wait to go back to Borough Market. We had the first thing that we had was the chocolate strawberries. Those chocolate strawberries, I'm afraid I'm never going to be as content as I was eating those chocolate strawberries because the strawberries were like the purest strawberry I've ever had in my entire life. And then the chocolate, I was expecting like Nutella chocolate. It was not Nutella. It did not taste like Hershey's. I don't know what magical stream of chocolate they found this chocolate in, but it is the best chocolate to have with the best strawberries. Oh my God. Yeah, we each got our own because there was no way I was sharing that. Ate it all up. I was sad that I ate it all up. But then after we had the strawberries and chocolate, we went to go find a sausage roll because my husband had never had a sausage roll before. I was like, we gotta get one. So we went to go have one. I'll try to link the I'll try to notate like the name of it. It's somewhere in my camera roll, and I know I took a picture of it and I posted it on TikTok and Instagram. But this was also the best sausage roll that I've had in my entire life. Prior to this, the best sausage roll that I ever had was when I went to Stonehenge. Weirdly, that was the best sausage roll, and that was like a good 8 years ago. So fast forward 8 years, we go to Borough Market. This is now the best sausage roll that I've ever had. So now I'm scared that I'm not gonna find a good enough sausage roll. Like I want to make it myself, but I just have a feeling it's never gonna come out as good as the one that we had in Borough Market. I would have had two. We each got our own as well, and we ate that up very quickly. So yeah, just keep in mind you will get full, but don't share your food. I don't care how little you eat. When you are eating in the UK, you don't get as full as you do in America. And let me explain. The ingredients that they use in the UK, a lot of them are locally sourced. The way that it's made is a lot better than how we're allowed to make it in America. So I would eat just as much food as I would in the UK as I would in America, but I never felt sluggish or so full that my pants didn't fit me. Like I would have kept eating if I knew that like okay, I should probably stop. Not to say that it's like an endless void. Like you're going to get full, but you're not going to feel as bad. If that makes sense. But yeah, the sausage roll is amazing. Next up, we found these donuts. We did find them on TikTok. So my husband was like, let's go get them. So we got it. It was like a creme brulee donut. The line for that one was really long too. On the way to get that donut, they were giving out free samples of a mushroom risotto because they just do that. They're so nice and kind. They gave you a free sample, and it was a good scoop. It was a good spoonful of this risotto. If I hadn't already eaten that sausage roll, I probably would have gotten that risotto because it was so good. It was so good. Um, but then we got that donut. That donut was amazing as well. I have a literal video of me eating that donut. It was really good. I recommended it. I will also link that one below. I'll just link everything that I ate while we were there. My husband ended up getting a paella, which I don't eat seafood, but he was like, "This is probably the best paella I've ever had." Maybe not the best. He's been to Spain, and I'm pretty sure he's had paella there, but this one I think came really close. So he loved it. He said it was amazing. And then we had, let's see, I think I got a cookie from like a random place. We got goat milk hot chocolate. It wasn't ice cream because why would I eat ice cream in 40-degree weather or 30-degree weather? We got hot chocolate. The hot chocolate was really good. The marshmallows are homemade. So yeah, that's actually just one of the things that I really love about the markets there. It's a huge market, but everything is locally sourced. Everything is homemade. So it's very different. It's just, I don't know. I feel like over here in America, when you go to a farmer's market, yeah, everything's like locally grown and like homemade, but it's all overpriced, in my opinion. Like, I don't ever want to go to a farmer's market here and buy fresh fruit from you. It's, I don't know, it's just fruit. I can just go buy that somewhere else. It's also locally sourced. Yeah, I don't know, but I would have eaten a lot more over there. One, if I wasn't sick, that also kind of ruined it. I couldn't smell as much because I was all stuffy, And yeah, I was just tired because I was sick. So that kind of ruined it for me, but it was still amazing. And I would have eaten everything twice if I could have, especially that sausage roll and the strawberries. Those were amazing. And so that was actually our last day. We kind of walked around at night. We went to go, we saw St. Paul's Cathedral. It was closed. We couldn't go in, unfortunately. I really wanted to because last time I went to England, I was able to go in there and it was beautiful. So we just saw it from a distance and we walked on the bridge where they filmed in one of the last Harry Potter films, you know, like when the Dementors are going over the bridge and it's moving and it breaks. That bridge, which we didn't know until we were walking on that bridge. We were like, this is the one from Harry Potter. So that was pretty fun. And we took pictures on that too. Yeah, after St. Paul's Cathedral, we walked a long time. We were like 15 minutes is fine. It's not that long. No, I think it was like 2 miles. We walked 2 miles. It was the longest 2 miles of our life. We were so tired. It had been raining. We were wet. Our coats were wet because we would just take a seat and everything was wet. We went to this Christmas market. Not the greatest Christmas market. I don't remember where it was exactly. Wasn't great. I had high expectations. I thought it was like a grand Christmas market. It wasn't. I think we ended up eating at like just a random restaurant. I don't think. Oh, we ended up eating at a pub near Harrods, actually. Which it was just like a generic pub. I think they have like it's just like a chain, so they have a bunch. But we had a really great experience there because we were all trying to sit together and they were trying to give us like a high chair or high table. And the person heard us and he was actually the owner of the pub. And he was like, well, I'll leave. We'll switch. You sit here. We'll sit at the high top. Like, don't even worry. Just give us a good review. And it was just, they were just so nice. And I was like, they would never do that in America. People would literally hear you complaining that you need somewhere to sit with your baby and they would ignore you. And here they were just so nice enough to give us their seats and they were nice to the baby and they were nice to us. Like they kept making sure that we were having a great time, making sure that our food came out on time, that we got the correct orders. Like it was just so nice. He wasn't even on the clock. He was just there with his friends and they were just having a great time with us. It was just that just made the experience that much better because it just reminds me how nice and genuine they are in another country and you come over here and I don't have that same experience and I was born here. So it just makes me miss the UK and or England even more. But the next day we left super early. We called an Uber. The Uber was disgusting. I don't know who let this man be an Uber. There was food on the floor, napkins, used cups, tissue, crumbs everywhere. We got the Super XL Uber because we had all of our luggage. We took it with us. We said bye to my family and we went straight to the Harry Potter tour, which was like almost an hour away. I think it was like 45 minutes. So we were like just sitting in this really gross van with all this food everywhere. I don't know. It was disgusting. We got there. So we had all of our luggage. We got to the tour. We were literally the first ones there. I thought it was so funny because I'm never early to anything. We're early to this tour and we were too early. So we were just taking pictures of the outside because it's all decorated for Christmas and it was so amazing. The moment you checked in, it was a super simple experience. We just gave them our luggage. They scanned it, obviously to make sure nothing's in it. And they took it to the coat room. We checked everything in and we didn't have to worry about it. We went to go have breakfast in the Great Hall and it was not the best experience just because the way that they branded online really makes it seem like you're eating in the Great Hall. Like they even have photos of the Great Hall. Let me preface this by saying if you are going to do the tour and you want to have breakfast or dinner in the Great Hall, you're not actually eating in the Great Hall. You literally just walk into not even a room, they just blocked it off. And then there's floating candles, which you can see. And the food, in my opinion, wasn't that good. Maybe I just didn't like what I got because I wanted to have like a traditional English breakfast. The beans, I wasn't a fan of them. And I love the tomato beans. I love those beans. Like I would literally buy the can and I'll eat them. And I didn't like them here. They were like, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain them. There was too much to make like tomato parts in it. And that's not what I was expecting. The sausage was a little bit rubbery. The mushrooms I didn't eat because I didn't care for it. It wasn't good. My husband got pancakes. I was like, I should have just gotten pancakes. They were shaped like the Hogwarts crust. Like I should have just gotten those. And then they had cereal, so that also felt very Americanized, like cornflakes and Cocoa Puffs. And I wasn't a fan. They had juice. I got Darjeeling tea, and that was the best part of the entire thing. They give you a cracker that you get to pop, and that kind of like tells you what your house is. I ended up being Slytherin, and my husband got Hufflepuff, which is neither of our houses because we're both Gryffindor, and he got a little pin with it. So I just wore that for breakfast. I was literally dressed in Gryffindor attire, and here I am wearing a Slytherin crown. So was it worth the experience? Kinda, but I definitely wouldn't pay for it again. And there was like a little cafe right outside. I think I would have done that instead of pay for the Great Hall experience because it really wasn't much of an experience. I'm like, the staff was super nice. It wasn't worth it to me. Wouldn't do it again. But we got to walk around the store, and like store is like not even the best word for it because it's essentially just an experience because there's so much that you can see here. And again, this is where in my last video I said don't overpack because there was so much that I wanted to buy and I couldn't because I knew I'm not going to have space for it. So we ended up just buying small things here and there. Like we knew what we wanted. We finally got into the tour. It's a really long walking tour. There's no cars, like there's no golf carts. Like you're literally walking the entire time that you're there, and you're walking outside too. So if you're going in the winter, you're gonna be cold, and I didn't really know that. But this tour was probably just the most amazing experience. I would definitely do it again just because I feel like I was so tired wearing the shoes that I was wearing. I was wearing heels for the photos. It was just so uncomfortable that I like didn't enjoy it as much, but it was a lot to take in and like I definitely took a lot of photos and videos. I wish I had had a better camera when I went. But it's just really fun because the moment you get into the tour, you literally enter through the Great Hall and they do like tricks and stuff and they turn on lights and the fireplaces and it was all decorated for Christmas when I went. It was the first day of Christmas. So that was amazing because everything was decked out. There was snow everywhere. All of like the mannequins that had like the outfits from the movies, they were dressed in like the winter attire. So even for the Yule Ball, like everything for the Yule Ball was there. Oh my god, I loved it. And there was snow everywhere. And even when you went outside, they had Snope. I call it Snope, floating everywhere. We got the tickets that we got gave us a free butterbeer each. And it's not just limited to the drink of the butterbeer. You can actually get like a frozen butterbeer or a butterbeer ice cream, which we got, and it's amazing. It's definitely so much better than the butterbeer from Universal, like I said in my last video. So definitely get that. And I think you can get like butterbeer treats if you wanted, but I don't know. In my opinion, if you like butterbeer, get either the drink or the ice cream. And we were there for like a good 4 or 5 hours after the tour. It's so immersive. Like maybe I'll do a whole video on it. I don't know if I have enough recording for it, but it was a lot. I've posted about it on TikTok and I think on my shorts here. So you can go find them. I have a bunch of footage from that too. But we finally made it out to the store and we bought as much as we knew that we could. Um, and thank God we had our luggage, but also it was annoying because we had to like open up our luggage, put everything in there. I changed because there was no way I was going on a 5 hour train ride to Scotland wearing these heels and this skirt. But overall, it was a fun experience. England overall was such a fun experience. I am already planning on when we can go back, hopefully in the next few years, because obviously it's not a very cheap trip to do. You do have to save and you have to plan. And now that we've both been there, we can kind of look back on like what we did and what we didn't get to do. And try to do it next time just because there were a few things that I wanted to do that we didn't get to do. Just like I wanted to go to the Victoria and Albert Museum, which is right in front of the Natural History Museum. But given all the things that we wanted to do, we just didn't have time. And I was the only person out of the five of us who wanted to go to it. So I was like, okay, it's fine. But it was also disappointing because they had the whole Marie Antoinette. So they had all of her gowns and the replicas of her gowns, wigs, jewelry, like everything. So I was really excited to go do it. Unfortunately, I didn't get to. The other thing I wanted to do was the St. Paul's Cathedral. I really wanted to go in there just because it's such an amazing cathedral to go into, regardless of if you practice it or not, just architectural wise. It's really pretty in there, and the way that they designed it. You can do a guided tour. When I went, I didn't do a guided tour. I just walked around. You are not allowed to take photos in there. I snuck one in and they almost threw me out. But it's really pretty to go in there. I wanted to go to one of the oldest pubs in, I don't know if it's one of the oldest pubs in London or just one of the oldest pubs in England. It's called Ye Old Cheshire Cheese. I went the last time, and I really wanted to go this time, but unfortunately, on our 2 mile walk, I thought that I was going to see it from the street, and I guess I just wasn't looking at that moment. So by the time we looked up where it was, my husband was like, "That we passed it like 5 minutes ago." I was like, okay, whatever. I'm too tired. I don't want to deal with this right now. So I wanted to see Tower London. Never got to go there. I didn't get to go inside Buckingham Palace. I would have loved to do that too. We didn't get to do the red bus tour, which I really wanted to do because me and my husband wanted to recreate the whole Friends scene. You know, if you watch Friends, the photo one, yeah, that one. I wanted to go to the city of Bath because I wanted to go visit Stonehenge and then go to the city of Bath and then go see the Roman baths, which I've already seen, but I wanted to see it again because it's just a different experience when you're there with someone who doesn't care versus when you're there with someone that you love and enjoys doing the same things that you enjoy doing. So it would have been nice to be able to do that with him. But, you know, we have all this planned, hopefully next time we go. Even if, you know, we have our own family while we're there, like it'll still be a fun experience for us to do. So yeah, I mean, we did do a lot. It was a fun trip. I miss England every single day that I'm in America. Um, and I can't wait to go back, honestly. Like, I have so much planned. I know what I need to pack, what I don't need to pack, what we need to do, what things we can miss out on. And I just hope that that day gets here a little bit quicker. Yeah, that's it. That was my whole trip to England. I will be doing my Scotland video in the next video. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's really it for now. Bye.